But it's going to be interesting. I don't know that we're ever going to get. I mean, Game of Thrones was, but when's the next time we get like a cultural experience where we all sit down on a Sunday night? Not that that's a big deal because a lot of people watch it on Netflix, but it did get to a cultural experience. At least the last episodes.
Yeah, I mean, we had said that we think Game of Thrones was the demise of Sunday night, 9 o'clock, whatever. You'll watch it on your own time, and it can be huge, but it's not going to be that same discussion week to week and all that kind of
with
shit.
everybody watching it at the same time.
I think they're going to start going back that way a little bit. I know Disney Plus is going to do the week to week.
Wow.
And I don't get why they don't do it. Even when they drop them at like 4 in the morning. I don't get why. If you're going to drop it, at least do it at like
8
6
p.m.
o'clock or 8 o'clock when people are like, all right, well, I'll watch this together. At least we'll get the first episode together.
Yeah.
And then we'll go our own way. But it's very strange. But you mentioned Game of Thrones. I guess you can't really feel for them because you guys had the perfect ending. But did you have those nerves going into the final season like they must have had?
Yeah. I mean, we had nerves every season in Breaking Bad because like we would read it and go, what the fuck? You never get better than that.
Yeah.
And then the second season they come and go, fuck, now we're really fucked because you're not gonna get better than that.
Right.
And then, oh man,
you just kept getting
I
better
think
and
Vince
better.
I mean, I don't know, but he was probably under the table,
See,
but
he's smart, though. He just kind of gave them fans like what they wanted. He didn't get cute with it.
Right.
He didn't get crazy with it. It was just like good shit right there.
Good shit, yeah. And that's just the way they did it. They would write themselves into a corner and then say, look, we got to work our way out of this and not try to take an easy way out.
Right,
You know?
right.
It's like I don't like those sci-fi. I'm not a big epic because it's always like, oh, fuck, I got this coin that gets me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You really had
Change
to
the
figure
rules.
out how to get out of it. It
was a very
in the midst of
tangible,
the
real
thing.
show.
Yeah.
There's no magic. There's no dragons. It was
People
drugs
died,
and
you know,
people.
who was supposed to do.
Were you salty about not getting to catch Walter White? Because I believe we were talking about an interview you did with Conan. I think the whole cast was on, and I don't know whether it was in our heads or not, but you almost looked a little like surly about it. It was right after I think you had died on the show, and it was like, do you care as an actor what the script ends up playing out? Would you have liked to be I cuffed him?
Yeah, I kind of. I mean, I never went into the room with the writer. Everybody else did. I never went into the room with the writers and said, hey, man, I'm going to pitch my story. Because I'm like, they're way fucking smarter than me.
Smart man.
They're like, we so I did whatever he wrote. And he told me the end that literally almost to the line 2 years before it.
Oh, wow.
He said, you're going to go out with dignity. Or that's the only thing you have left, and you're going to say, fuck you, and that's that.
Such a great character. It was such a great character.
That's like, I'm rewatching now. I had to skip that scene.
Yeah,
that scene. It's so good. It's like so good. It's so hard to watch.
Yeah,
you smashed it. It's that might be one of the best scenes in TV. I'm going through. I've seen so many scenes that I like almost forgot. Like the one I love is the Walter White when he. What is it, 6353 Juan Tabo Boulevard?
Yeah.
And it's like he goes from like pleading for his life to that. I was like, really forget about that scene because it's so.
And that's
good.
like, I mean, that's buried amongst like 10 others.
There's so many great scenes, but that's, I mean, obviously one of the best.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, and that showed it's filled with. I can't tell how many people come up to me like I've seen it 10 times. Literally, I'm like, what the fuck you got to do in your life?
So, a big question a lot of people have been asking.
Yeah,
are you gonna be in the movie?
Oh man. And I couldn't tell you if I was.
Come on!
I was like Googling it before we came in here. Like, they don't even have Bryan Cranston announced in the cast, and he's been like tweeting about it and stuff like that. So it's almost like he's been saying he's in it. But the only cast announced is Aaron Paul and Skinny Pete.
Yeah, Skinny Pete. Right. Charles Baker. Yeah.
I mean, I'm so excited for it.
I know.
I feel like Can you answer whether you want to be in it?
I can't even answer that.
What can you answer, Dean? What the fuck, man?
Do you
I can say that it's good. There's going to be a movie, and they wouldn't say it for like 6 months. It was like, maybe there's a movie, maybe there's not. Whatever that thing is.
How long did you know?
Vince sent us an email to all the cast saying, "Hey guys, we're going to do this movie. So just let you know."
Do you have fear that it won't? I don't believe this is possible, but that like idiots online will be like, oh, that ruined the legacy. They should have left it. It was perfect. I don't agree with that kind of stuff. I think that sequels stand alone, and if something was perfect, that was perfect, and maybe this is great too. Maybe it's a little underwhelming, but whatever happens, I'm sure it'll be great. But is that like a concern at all?
It's not for me. First of all, I have faith in Vince Gilligan.
Right. And if you don't, you're a fool.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And he's proved himself, to know how to deal with all this stuff. And So it's not an issue for me. And like I agree, that show. The problem would have been if they tried to squeeze a few more seasons out of Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
You know
that was a perfect compromise.
It was right there. Yep. Let it lie there, and that would have been an issue. But anything that happens after, it's its own. It stands alone or on its own. On its own. So.
I mean, let's say it bombs, which is not.
Yeah.
So what? I said it's like Jordan on the Wizards. It's like no one. you still remember the Bulls, and it's whatever. And plus, you get guys like Vince Gilligan and Aaron Paul back in the mix, and. He's gonna be in it. Come on. And you get Dean Norris in there. Come on. Did you? You mentioned Game of Thrones. Did you watch?
I did.
Did you watch? Like, what are your shows?
Yeah, I watched Game of Thrones.
Were you happy with the ending?
No.
Like, was anybody?
Right? Yeah, I don't think anybody was. Yeah, and I get it. And that's the difference between a guy who sits around for 20 years and writes a book, and then it gets past it, and you got TV writers going, oh fuck, we got to get this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's just the way it's going to go.
Was there maybe like a little sense of satisfaction when the world is mad, you guys just kind of like clink your glass, still the greatest, still the only ones to ever do it.
Yeah, you guys are like the Miami Dolphins,
Yeah,
like the what was it, 80 whatever
72 Dolphins every time they lose.
I think I tweeted out, "Long live Breaking Bad."